because I'm always saying everybody's got a story, and Pastor Rick is saying the same thing too, that we all have something we can share. And Austin came and found me out and said he'd be willing to do it, and so I've been anticipating what Austin's going to share today. I know he's had a lot of things going on in his life. We all have, but you know, the perspective of your plans and God's plans, isn't that the name of it? And I'm just glad that you've agreed to share with us. I just want to pray before we go into it. Father, we just ask that as Austin comes forward, Lord, that you would just be with him, just give him the words that you'd like to have him share with us. We just thank you for his willingness to share. We thank you for the way that you're impacting his life and how he's impacting the lives of others around him. So, Father, we just ask that you would just be with us now as we listen to Austin. Amen. So come on up, bud. You got it.
Well, some of you may know me, some of you may not. I'm Austin Doyle. Been a member here for 10 years, I think. Just a little backstory. I met my wife June of 2005. Online dating, you know, that whole thing. It worked for us. Some people it doesn't work for. We were married March 2007. We were going to the breakthrough service. Ryan Wallace was leading that service at that time, and I said, hey, I've never been baptized, so, you know, one of those weekends that they had the baptismal over at Sedgwick County Park, I was baptized over there. So luckily enough, the turtles didn't want to bite that day because we were standing right next to one.
He said there's a turtle. All right, Austin, baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
After that, you know, we went about our lives the normal way. You know, we were planning on having kids. You know, that was our plans. We tried and tried. Went to fertility specialists. They said it's a 1 in a million shot that you're going to have kids. So at that point, you know, I was like, you know, I was just down. And I was like, well, either it's not in God's plan or, you know, God hates me. You know, it's one of those deals. And so we're like, well, let's just flip this around and we're going to try and go as far as to adopt kids. Well, my mom and dad adopted through foster care. And I told my wife, I said, I don't want to do that. I said, I've seen that side of it. I don't want to do that. So we went to look at international adoption. Well, we started into that and found out there were certain places that we wouldn't even qualify for. Well, we found one that we actually qualified for, which is Poland. I was like, well, hey, they'll kind of look like us, you know. And so we're like, let's start fundraising. We did a cookbook, we did a whole bunch of garage sales. You know, I worked with some people to possibly get some radio spots to advertise for the garage sales, and the first radio announcer I talked to, his first words were, we have enough kids here, adopt one of them. And that was just one of those roadblocks that we hit. Kept fundraising. We did this for 3 years. And my wife was working for Youthville, and these kids that had been in our lives in the past, they were in my mother-in-law's daycare. They came into care. She saw them there. So she went to her boss and said, hey, are they going home, or are they, you know, going to be adopted? What? And her boss said, Right now, everything's going home. Okay. So she just left it, and we talked about it, and we're like, well, if we really have it in our hearts we need to look at these kids. And about 2 months later, they came up and said, they're going to split them up if you don't adopt them. And we're like, let's adopt them. We knew the kids. We knew that they had come from a troubled home, but we knew that they were good kids. And so we adopted them. Before that, we did have a foreign exchange student, and he was here for a year. Well, the end of his year is when they moved into our house. So we took a 2-bedroom house, made it into a 3-bedroom house to accommodate for the kids. All 3 girls could stay in one room, and Isaiah would be in his room. Well, we were like, hey, let's get another foreign exchange student. After a year of having the kids in our home, we're like, Isaiah needs somebody that can, run with him, whatever. And so we bring in another foreign exchange student. Well, about halfway through that foreign exchange student, the one in a million miracle happens. Kayla gets pregnant. So, at that point, we're like, now we have to take this 3-bedroom house and make it into a 4-bedroom house. Mind you, we still haven't increased the actual footprint of the house. I just keep building walls in the house. Well, Kayla went through a rough pregnancy. I mean, some of you may have known about her pregnancy and being rough here at the church and getting hauled out on a stretcher and everything else. That was a kind of a turning point in my life that I thought, I'm not in control. I don't have a plan. And that's when I realized it's not my plans, it's God's plans. Thomas Rhett has a song. It's called Life Changes. It says, you never know what's going to happen. You make your plans and you hear God laughing. Well, God's laughing now. Because I made the plans. And he's like, nah, I don't like those. So, I'm very happy that I have my 5 kids now. I'm happy the way that God has led me, and He keeps leading me, because my outlook on life has changed a lot, because I went from not knowing God to being baptized to thinking God hated me to knowing just don't plan it. Just let it roll. And it'll happen. It'll happen when God sees it to happen. He'll never give you more than you can handle, even though I think He's tried. Because, yeah, it's gotten rough. Speaking of a 5-bedroom house, taking and making a 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom house into a 5-bedroom. So, yeah, but it's good. I mean, I really like the way the path of my life and everything. So, I mean, I wish I had more, but it's what I got.
You got.
So,
Alrighty. Anybody have any questions? Because I didn't know you're still in the same house, and
Same house we moved
That's
into.
just amazing that you took a 2-bedroom and it's 5-bedroom now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We were lucky enough that we had a family room and a living room, and our family room became our bedroom. So, I mean, it already had a closet in it, so hey.
What are the ages of the kids?
Isaiah is 14, Autumn is 13, Alexis is, I have to think about this. What? She is 12. She will be 13 in November. And Ava is 11, will be 12 in November. And then Molly is 4.
Yeah. How long ago did you adopt?
We adopted in, it was finalized in 2006, or 2016.
Okay.
Seem to be dropping that one a lot.
Well,
Time jumping is making my head hurt.
hey, it makes my head hurt too.
Did you foster first and then adopt, or you went right straight to adoption?
Well,
I don't know how that works.
technically, the way that we did it is we fostered them to adopt. And we had to go through the whole thing of getting our license, basically become a foster home. And then once we got through all that, then they moved into our house. Basically, when they came into our house, that Memorial weekend, that following November, they were ours. And they, that is what we considered a fast track on adoption, because that is unheard of. But we had our lawyer pushing on the courts, my wife pushing on Youthville because she still worked there. And so everybody was trying to push the paperwork forward as quickly as possible to get it done as quickly as possible. Rights were terminated on the parents 3 months before that Memorial weekend. So they were out, they were out of the question. There was no worries about them coming around.
Yeah, because you had to terminate the parents' rights before you could have all the paperwork squared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parents tried to get back to anything.
They have what they call a termination visit, which is basically their last visit with the kids.
Now, did all this happen here in the state of Kansas?
Yeah.
Were the kids being fed and everything?
They were being fed, but they basically just, they weren't being taken care of. I mean, they just had. Well, one of the stories that the kids remember of their mom and dad was they got a gaming system, like a Nintendo or something like that, for Christmas. It was given to the kids. The kids never played it. Dad always played it. So, if you're going to give something to the kids, shouldn't it be the kids playing it, not Dad? Or, Isaiah remembers, him getting a basketball for a birthday one time, and 3 days later, his dad took a knife and popped the basketball because Isaiah was bouncing the basketball out in the driveway and it woke him up. It's good that they've moved on from that point.
Did they have to have any kind of therapy?
They went through some therapy, yeah. I mean, every kid's going to have some therapy at that point, so.
When they come through that kind of a family, situation.
Yeah.
Just the two older ones?
What?
Just the two older ones had a therapy?
All 4 of them actually had therapy. That was court ordered because the court wanted to find out basically their mental state and how much they knew and how much they didn't know about, their family and stuff like that. That's why they all had to go through therapy, but, Ava, as young as she was, she doesn't remember a whole lot of that. But, you know, she's the most stubborn one of them all. She's the one that thinks she can get away with everything because, you know, she was originally the baby of the family, you know, so she's the one that thinks she can get away with everything, and she doesn't. So, yeah, it's interesting. So, yeah.
Where did you grow up and what did you do?
I grew up right here in Wichita. You know, went to East High School. And right now I'm a chemical and beverage technician for a food service company.
Molly has a pretty good understanding of the whole situation as far as her siblings, because she came after all that. So they were there since she was born.
She doesn't understand the whole adoption thing. She doesn't know why they're different color. She just sees them as brother and sisters. You know, and that's the way we want it. You know, we don't want her to think, oh, they're adopted or, you know, they're not our family. No, thank you. Yeah.
You didn't clap.
Well, you know. Okay, gentlemen. Well, that's it. That's it for today. Any questions for any?
Adam says I should bring it up. I do have my turtle tattoo that has all of their names on it.
Oh,
So Molly's up here at the top, Isaiah's down at the bottom. So it's basically an age, you know, as far as how they go up.
You did get bit by the turtle.
Eventually.
You have room for more kids.
you got another leg. He's got another leg. He's got another
My
leg.
wife says no.
She's got her hands full as it is.
She said with the foreign exchange students, she would always take a foreign exchange student, then she'd get kids that wouldn't go away.
Yeah.
Because we took the first foreign exchange student, got the 4, and then took another foreign exchange student, and then we get Molly. So she always said, no more.
No more.
No more foreign exchange students.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for showing up. We'll see you again next month, and be thinking if you haven't thought about sharing, think about it, and give me a holler. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.